In December of 2016, I was diagnosed with lung and leg blood clots. It was Christmas Eve, and I found out that these clots were slowing me down, and I was really sick.
I'm a Vietnam veteran. I was having problems sleeping, and when I would sit down and start to get back up, if I sat any length of time, my joints would be stiff, and like I said, my balance was off.
Also, getting out of bed in the morning after a night of night sweats, hot flashes, tossing and turning. Then the moment I stepped out of bed, everything hurt. My joints were achy, and it was slow moving to the kitchen to brew that pot of coffee and to get going. No energy.
My story began back in 1972 when I was in a 3-car accident, and I really should not have walked away, except God was not ready for me yet. However, in the 50-some years that followed, I've had pain that progressed through my body as a result of trying to get the car under control with my left arm. Before I knew it, I had arthritis throughout my body.
I had a problem with my finger was numb and a little pain in my knuckles. All of that went away.
So my story started about 4 years ago, about end of 2019, when I got diagnosed with toxic mold poisoning. And that nearly took my life. And that's how that catapulted me into going into the regenerative medicine.
I, again, consider myself a pretty healthy person. So I didn't have any major physical issues I was looking at other than maybe anti-aging, all the good stuff that they say is going to do for your skin.
I am at an age now where I have entered into this beautiful phase of life called perimenopause. Yay me. So I wanted to kind of reduce some of the inflammation that was in my body. I wanted to see these hot flashes completely go away, or at least calm down a little bit.
I used to wake up 9 o'clock in the morning when I'm usually up at 5:30 in the morning. I could not drag myself out of bed. 10 o'clock, down back on the couch for another 2 hours sleeping. I had no energy at all.
I didn't even realize how rough my sleep patterns were beforehand, because it wasn't something I wanted to really acknowledge because I didn't have a solution for it.
Back in 2015, January of 2015, 17 days after my husband and I were married, I was diagnosed with stage 3 esophageal cancer.
Never in my life slept through the night, and now I am sleeping through the night, minimum 4.5 hours a time, up to 6, maybe 7 at a time. So I'm really thankful for it. I've always been a skeptic about different things, and now I'm a true believer in this because of what it's done for me personally. I have more energy, I'm sleeping better.
I began to feel better. I had more energy. I was sleeping better at night. And after about 6 weeks, the stem cells went after my neck and my back and that concussion. And every day I got more energy back.
It's just been a miracle, just having the energy to be able to do it. And I come in, and Gracie says, "Are you all right?" And I said, "I'm not tired anymore. I go and go."
My energy is off the chain. I just went to my 60th class reunion, and people could not believe how energetic I am.
In addition to my husband, I also started using it, and I didn't have any major issues, but my energy increased.
I was in pain that day. My pain went away. My energy came back.
In the very, very beginning, I noticed right away the increased energy, the decreased anxiety, and the deeper sleep.
Now, the energy, I'm waking up at 5:30 in the morning. I'm working. I'm spending time with my grandchildren. Sometimes at 11 o'clock, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 11 o'clock. I would have been in bed by 7 o'clock already, waking up throughout the night. This has made me sleep beautifully.
I feel like I'm able to just do a lot more in the day. Like I'm able to hold a lot more energy in my body and get a lot more done in a day, feeling good.
So I'm just going to kind of do a little recap, guys, because we heard about her recovery from having cancer and from all of the different surgeries. You're sleeping better, more energy, feeling refreshed when you wake.
My name is Lynn Hare, and I'm from Portland, Oregon, and it's a pleasure to be with you guys. I'm super excited to share with you my testimonial. In December of 2016, I was diagnosed with lung and leg blood clots. It was Christmas Eve, and I found out that these clots were slowing me down, and I was really sick. I started immediately on an anticoagulant that was going to help me get better. And then I had a series of ultrasounds on my legs. I just wanted to make sure that the blood clots had not returned, and they were looking good. But over the course of the years, my legs were swelling, and especially my right leg, where the vein valves didn't close, they got worse and worse over the course of time. And then in November of 22, I was diagnosed with a venous ulcer. The central vein in my right leg had so much pressure that it was pushing out extra little veins, and one in my ankle where it actually opened up and there was an open sore. It was extremely painful. I asked the doctor if I could have another ultrasound. And the doctor said, there's no need for another ultrasound. You've been diagnosed with problems in your veins. It's never going to go away. I drove home in tears. I was thinking it's time to write out my advanced directives. What do I do? Over the course of the months, I had a friend of mine continually call me up and tell me about stem cell injections. So I was researching those in the Portland area, but they were thousands and thousands of dollars. Then out of the blue, my friend Maggie calls me up and she said, have you heard about the latest stem cell technology? And I said, tell me more. And she told me about the X39. She told me about the Lifewave stem cell patches. And I'm like, I want to check them out. So what happened next was on February 23rd, 2023, we had a huge snowstorm here in Portland. I was walking out in the snow, and on an icy road, my feet went out from underneath of me and I landed on my back. My head struck the ground and I was in excruciating pain. For weeks, I went through a really painful time. I had inflammation and pain in my neck and my back, and I was sore. I couldn't sleep at night. I had a brain fog. I was a hot mess. It was really painful and I didn't know what to do. So then I thought about the stem cell patches, and I was on the X39. My friend Maggie said, you got to check these patches out. So I put the patches on my back, and then she would check in with me. How you doing today? I'm in a lot of pain. She called me up a few days later. How'd you sleep last night? Hardly got a wink. The next day, how you doing? I'm in a brain fog. I can't remember stuff. And as she kept asking me for updates, I realized that my neck and my back weren't getting better. I wanted to boss those stem cells around. I wanted to tell them where to go. I had a concussion and my head hurt. The next thing I know, I'm in talking to my massage therapist. I've been getting massages every 2 weeks for years. And about a month after I fell on the ice, something amazing happened. He looked up at me and he said, I want to tell you what's happening with your legs. Your right leg is down 25 to 30%. The swelling has gone down. In fact, it's matching the same size as your other leg. What are you doing to make this happen? I said, I've been on these patches. I'm super excited. What I found out was that the stem cell patches went after the number one problem in my body. That was the circulation in my legs. And as that happened, I began to feel better. I had more energy. I was sleeping better at night. And after about 6 weeks, the stem cells went after my neck and my back and that concussion. And every day I got more energy back. The pain went down. I added Lifewave and Eon patches. And the inflammation went down in my neck and my back. I slept better. The brain fog lifted. And I felt better. My energy returned. And after 60 days to the day, I was all the way better. My legs were awesome. I had plenty of energy, and that concussion was gone. And I give glory to God for the healing. The Lord touched me and he healed me through this technology. I'm super excited to share that with you. And over the course of time, I found out that this was something that was bringing me not only healing in my body, but I was looking younger. Every time my friends would see me, they'd say, Lynn, they say, you look younger. Why do you look younger? Tell us what's going on. And I've been sharing with them about the patches. And I would like to share with you a picture of the venous ulcer and then what my feet look like today. And I'm just super excited to share this. And let me go ahead and share my screen here. And here is November of 2022 with my venous ulcer. I had a swollen foot and leg. And this is today, September 2023, after 6 months on the patches. And you can see the big difference in how my legs are feeling. And I've never felt more energetic or better than I do today.
Now, no more aches and pains. My shoulder's good. I can sleep like I like to. My mental clarity and my mood is so lifted now. No anxiety. My pain in my foot probably took about 6 weeks to go from a 7 to a 0. I can wear heels again, although I don't care to all the time. I want to protect my feet and wear more sensible shoes, but I can wear heels again. What else? The menopause symptoms, they diminished the very first month. No hot flashes, no cramps, no achy chest, no headaches. If I ever get a headache now, it's only from something I ate or drank. And now I pick up Lifewave and I put it on the back of my neck and it's gone immediately.
It's been like a whirlwind, Marcy. It's just been such a blessing in my life. My story began back in 1972 when I was in a 3-car accident. And I really should not have walked away, except God was not ready for me yet. However, in the 50-some years that followed, I've had pain that progressed through my body as a result of trying to get the car under control with my left arm. Before I knew it, I had arthritis throughout my body, and I've been treated with OxyContin, oxycodone, morphine, epidurals, nerve burnings. This has been my life for the last 50 years. The thing is, I've tried to counteract it with exercise, which helped. However, the pain was always there. Medications helped, of course. Well, one day, a group of friends, we always get together for our birthday parties. We used to work together. And we were at a party, and one of my friends said, "How's your neck today, Gail?" And I said, "Well, that small child is still sitting on it." Because, when you have pain, it's always there. You just don't even necessarily notice it, but it's always your companion. And she said, "Well, let me stick this on." And I said, "What is it?" She said, it's a patch, a therapy patch. I said, "Okay." Well, I'd known the woman 35 years. She could have stuck anything on my neck and I would have said, "Fine." Well, anyway, about an hour later, we're visiting. I wasn't thinking anything of it. And an hour later, she said, "Gail, how does your neck feel?" I go like this. I said, "Oh my God, what did you put on my neck?" She said, "Well, I'll tell you about it later. We're partying now." Well, a few days later, and I had the patch on for 3 days. I didn't know the rules about wearing the X39 patch, but my neck felt so friggin' good. I wasn't taking the thing off. It washed off in the shower. But anyway, I went to a sharing session and I heard people's testimonials, and I still didn't really know what made this thing work, but I said, I need me some of that. I got me some of that along with the Eon patch. And from that day forward, that was April 16th. And I consider that the day that God blessed me with a miracle. And it was no less than a miracle. There's no such things as coincidences. I was meant to be there. My friend Nikki was meant to patch me. And that began my life of being pain-free. And I still don't really understand it, except I know my neck stopped hurting. And then my granddaughter asked me one day, she said, "Grandma, do you take those eye drops anymore for your cataract surgery?" Because I had cataract surgery in October. And I had dry eye as a result. And when she asked me that question, this was like in May, I said, "I don't remember the last time I took those drops." I said, "This is weird." So I started actually taking notes as to what was happening to me that I still didn't understand. Anyway, I noticed that in April, the pain it left my neck. In May, the inflammation throughout my body, and this is hard to believe, started going away. In June, I actually made an appointment with my chiropractor, who I went to every single week to have my neck stretched, to explain to her why I was not coming back. I've been doing that since 2004. Went to my pain clinic after she had burned my nerves 2 weeks prior to my first patching, to explain to her why I would probably never see her again in life. It's now August. I have not been to any of those doctors that I visited. Pain clinic every 3 months, my chiropractor every week. I haven't been back since. And I'm still trying to understand what is going on with my body. But as I'm kind of seeing how I'm changing my movements and all. I no longer, when I'm sitting at lunch for a long time with a girlfriend, I no longer have to stand up and adjust my body and get my knees unkinked and my back straightened, you know, before you can move. I just get up and move. I sleep like a baby. I don't take tizanidine every night as my muscle relaxer. I'm on no pain medication at all. I don't even take Tylenol anymore. I actually, and then my energy is off the chain. I just went to my 60th class reunion and people could not believe how energetic I am. And I'm looking back at some of the things that I read about X39. I said, well, shoot, these things are, I guess, supposed to happen. But it's like, seriously, it's changed my life completely. I feel like I have a new lease on life. I feel free. That's the word. And I feel joyful. And I think because I don't have the stress of the inflammation anymore. And, you know, like they say, you get vitamin D from the sun. I still don't understand that. But something is going on with this X39 that I tell everybody I know, and they should be sick of hearing from me. But, you know, like it's like a good sale. If I know of a good sale, I'm telling everybody, you got to go to Macy's and get in on that sale. Well, it's no different with these patches, but the difference is this has really made the quality of my life so much better, and unexpectedly so. Because I had no expectations other than the pain would never come back to my neck. But now I'm like,
Hi, everyone, and thanks for having me here, Laura. And I'm excited to be here to share my story because I have two stories to share. It's about my personal story as well as my dad. So like Laura said, I'm Sunday Zen, and I've been with Lifewave for almost a year now. But before this journey, I've been in the regenerative medicine and holistic health for 14 years. So my story started about 4 years ago, about end of 2019, when I got diagnosed with toxic mold poisoning. And that nearly took my life. And that's how that catapulted me into going into the regenerative medicine. So I've done everything from frequency medicine, such as Rife machines or hyperbaric therapy, PEMF, ozones. I was steam sauna and cleansing, parasitical cleansing, all sorts of diet changes, as well as swallowing all kinds of pills. And I've done it all, and they all were working to save my life because before the whole patches, my skin it turned like elephant skin. I think some of you who've experienced this will know what that means. It turned hard, my color discolored, like turned dark, because I had toxic overload, like heavy metal overload. And then I had over 20 different types of bacteria and disease. There were just too much going on with toxic mold. And if anybody is familiar with mold, it can kill you. It can even cause cancer, and it goes into your body and disrupt your immune system. So that was what my journey was. And so as I was spending so much time, as I was talking to Laura earlier, and Leah earlier, about how I would have to spend about 6 to 7 hours a day under these frequency machines just to kill all the infections that I was having. And that would take me about 3 days out of a week to do that. So I would have to just lay there and do my work there. Now that the patches are in my life, I still maintain some of the modalities, but I don't have to be like that anymore. You know, I'm living my life now. So that night I patched my dad with those 4 patches that I mentioned, and I just told him to drink water, and I went away. And the next day he texted me and said 50% of his bleeding stopped. And then the second time he used the patches, 100% of his bleeding stopped. So that was a miracle. And then that was the same day that I started patching as well, which I know that you're going to show the photos of my legs. I'm going to jump a little bit, but going back to my condition with my skin and parasites and all the other stuff happening, you'll see it in the screen that Leah's going to show.
I'm going to go ahead, Sunday, while you're talking.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and share these pictures that you shared with us so you can explain it. And I don't
Yeah.
Look, there we go.
So August 25th was the day that I also went to the hospital to patch my dad. And that's how my legs look. They looked before the patches. And then it took about 4 months of patching, of extreme itching and irritation. And I understand now why that is, because the body's healing and the parasites, or, everything was dying. As they were dying, the itching, or the healing crisis, I would say, that's what I was experiencing for 4 months. For 3.5 months, it started to get flat. I still have scars, and that was July 2023 I took. So I still have a few spots left, but it's nothing compared to what I had before. And I wanted to explain that I was dry shaving it with a razor every day. So I know people will think that's insane, but the itching was too intense, to a point it was itching from a cellular level, and it really messed with your mind. And again, I had over 25 symptoms, including Lyme, multiple chemical sensitivity, arthritis, brain fog, microtoxins are everywhere in my brain, as well as, the mold. So that's what I was dealing with. And there are other pictures that we're not showing, but that was all over
Okay,
my
we can do
body
that.
as well. I would just explain that it was, you can imagine the neck from everything was just wrinkled up. Like I said, it was elephant skin, and I just didn't have any energy, let alone being functioning. And I was walking around like snowflakes, like the skin was just shedding. It was gross. Anyway, so I thought I'd share that. And it's important for people to know that I have tried everything kind of under the sun, and spent a lot of money in health. And I have met.
So let me
go ahead.
interrupt you, not
Yes,
to
please.
be rude. Some people are probably wondering, the picture that they just saw, how long had you been patching when you started seeing and noticing result? Like, when did it all start coming together for you?
Okay, so since the August 25th, the day I patched him, I'm the lucky one, the 80% that noticed it the first day. Like I was in pain that day. My pain went away. My energy came back. I had a clear mind. But it took 4 months for the scars and that bump, the oozing out, the pus, to go flatten and, stop that for 4 months. It took 4 months.
Wow.
And then I started August, so 25th would be the year. It'll be a year coming up. Then that's how my legs look in July. So, and my whole skin is glowing, like my arthritis with my finger. I know this is like a little bent, but it was like this, and now is that. So everything else is changing in my, inside my body. I'm so grateful for this. I mean, for David, for God, for Lillian, for all of you. So that's when I started sharing this product with everybody. It's just such a natural thing.
Well,
So
I put you on, I should have done it before, so my apologies to everybody, but I have you on speaker view right now because I wanted them to see, and when people come back to view this, how incredible your skin looks. I mean, for you to go from what you say elephant skin to what we saw on your legs, which I'm assuming you probably had a lot of that everywhere, right?
Yep.
If I'm hearing you correctly, and then to look at you now, your eyes are bright, you're just, the whites of your eyes are just sparkling, your energy, your smile, your hair, I mean, it's just unbelievable.